Sometimes you have a month in Football Manager where you get humbled. Since last episode, everything's kind of going wrong. Bank balance shrinking. Less than £2 million remains. Yeah, at the current rate that we're going, we are going to be in debt by the end of the year. On the pitch, 4 league defeats since last episode. Our star players have stopped performing. Since I bought Amari Hutchinson for £3.3 million, 0 league assists. Granted, he has been injured. One man who doesn't have that excuse, Aaron Ramsey. This man was one of the star players in the division. His average rating for the year has absolutely tumbled. Look at the form in his last 20 games. Yeah, the wheels are coming off. And as if to make things worse, star boy Carl Flood had a bid made for him by Norwich. The board accepted it. It was £19 million. I begged them to reject it. That was before the form got bad. They did reject that bid. Annoyingly now, he's upset he's not gone to Burnley. And with 2 weeks left of the transfer window, I think he's going to want to move. 2 games coming your way today. The first is against Birmingham. We took on Birmingham last episode and beat them. Was it 3-1 or 3-2? The answer's 3-1. Today, we're playing them again. We're going to see how bad the fall from grace is. Let's get into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. Today is episode number 38 of Park to Prem here with Wanderers FC. We are still top of the championship. The teams behind us are chasing us. In fact, if we just look at the league table, spoilers, Norwich are on the same amount of points as us. Yeah, the gap that we had at the top really has evaporated. And as I mentioned, last episode, we took on Birmingham, we beat them. We took on Sunderland, we beat them. Since then, disaster has struck, starting with this game against Ipswich. 1 month before this game, we beat Ipswich 6-0 at home. Yeah, that didn't happen in the rematch here. We got battered. I want to give you some kind of excuse. They just had better players than us. I feel like that's really what it boiled down to. But I'm not sure I can use the same excuse for this game here. Taking on Blackburn, it finished 3-2 Blackburn. 2 goals in the last few minutes for us was like a mini comeback, but it was far too little, far too late. Good news is, to start the month of December, we bounced back, win against Wigan 2-0, win against Stoke 3-2. Not the most convincing of results, that one, but a win against Peterborough started to settle the nerves as we went into 2 big games against Norwich and Bournemouth. And I did and ah about doing these games in a video, but ultimately, because we'd played both these teams before just a couple of videos ago, whilst they are the 2 teams behind us, I thought, you know what, I'll just play them in my own time. It was awful. 1 goal in the game against Norwich. Jadon Anthony with the goal. This came late on. I thought we were going to hold on for a point, which, to be fair, I would have taken. We didn't get that. And we followed that up with another game without a point as we lost 3-2 to Bournemouth. In this game, Ajaria injured. He broke his arm. Harry Evans injured, our goalkeeper. That's a thing. He's broken his arm as well. 2 players breaking their arm in 1 game. He could be out for another 4 weeks. So we've not had our first choice goalkeeper lately. And the real kick in the gonads was having drawn level 2-2 with a goal in the last 10 minutes. In the 94th minute of this game, Zambrano did that. But when we drew against Reading, that's inexcusable. They're in the division below us. I decided to rotate the team for this game. I mean, you can kind of see how the game went. An XG of 3, 2 shots on target. I don't want to blame the strikers, but I'm going to blame the strikers. We went against QPR 3-0. That was a nice reprieve. Kevin Pinto in this game, man of the match performance. But in the FA Cup replay against Reading, we really didn't make things easy for ourselves. Sending off for Pinto after 10 minutes was annoying. I'll be honest, we were 1-0 up at the time, but we fought back gallantly despite being down a man. Managed to scrape a 4-3 win against a team in the division below us. Marcus Sheldon, the former Reading man of the match. And whilst we're here on Sheldon's profile, look at the green arrows. This man is getting better and better and better. He's really good. Sadly, for all that good news and me bringing up our strikers, you wouldn't have known it in this game against Plymouth. 0-0. They had an XG of 0. We had an XG of 3.26. We didn't score. Yeah. One of those games. Now, I already did flash up the league table briefly, but looking at things here, Bournemouth are now breathing down our necks. They're 6 points behind us. Granted, there's a little gap behind those teams, but to be honest, that pack of teams chasing suddenly doesn't feel all that far away. There is still 14 games left of this league season. When you look at our form, especially lately, we definitely all of a sudden feel beatable. I felt like today's game against Birmingham is a chance to steady the ship. Birmingham are up in 7th. They're a really good team, but obviously we beat them last episode. We're going to see how bad the crumble really has been today. After that game, by the way, plan of attack, we're going to skip over the Coventry game. I've decided in this universe I hate Coventry. I once did an away day at their stadium and my internet died halfway through. I skipped over them at the start of the year in the EFL Cup. They beat us there. It's the FA Cup. At the moment, this is not a priority. But the game against Fulham, which is the last game before the transfer window closes, feels important. And after that game, deadline day. And I say deadline day like that because I've already had the chairman, like I said, accept an offer for Carl Flood. I was able to protest the transfer and get him to cancel it. With the club's current financial predicament, there is a real risk that someone gets sold that I don't really have a say in. Now, I mentioned Ajaria's injury and also the goalkeeper in Harry Evans' injuries. They broke their wrist in the case of Ajaria and broke his arm in the case of Evans. We have actually had a fair few injuries lately. A lot of them have just been little things. A lot of tight groins here. I wonder what the lads have been up to. Slight injuries. Amari Hutchinson, I mentioned the fact he's not assisted very much. He did miss a couple of weeks of football due to injury. I really, really like the form bar graph that we have on this skin because the gaps basically indicate where there was a game the player didn't feature in, so it's quite a good visualization of games players missed. Amari Hutchinson is still coming back from that injury. And elsewhere, you can see Ramsey missed a couple of days with an injury. Who else has been out? Geldhardt's been out. Dane Scarlett twisted his knee, missed a bit of football. Andy White was injured at one point, or right back at the start of December. He twisted his ankle as well, was out for 4 weeks. When you actually look at things here, 11 injuries in December, 5 in January. I mean, it's somehow worse than last year. At the same time, though, I don't feel like I can entirely blame injuries this year. Last year, we didn't have depth. This year, we have that depth, but it just feels like maybe the wheels are coming off slightly. I don't want to say that too loudly. You can see here, Harry Dolk still, well, I was going to say he's still injured. He's marked as injured. I'm told his fitness test isn't required, but I look at that half-depleted heart, and I don't want to risk it. So you know what? Alex Matos is going to come in at defensive mid. In terms of the rest of the team, Ajari is out. Harry Evans, as I mentioned, got injured. Now, has meant a call up to the team for the Wint. And I know what you're thinking. Jack, have you looked at goalkeepers since it's January? Yeah, they don't exist. I've had my scouts looking for English goalkeepers throughout the entirety of the season so far. Oliver Dovin is a player who's popped up. I can't afford him. He'd be a great signing, but 11 million for us right now? Problem. And elsewhere, the only other player rated higher than 3 stars is Billy Krellin, who, with respect to him, just isn't very good either. Anyway, enough excuses out the way. Let's see how bad things really are. If we win here, I'll calm down slightly. But I obviously know with Bournemouth now 6 points behind us, Norwich level, we had a gap over them, and it just doesn't exist anymore, and that is annoying. Now, despite the struggle lately, there are players like Hutchinson, like Ramsey, who, I'm going to be honest, they've just been awful. There's not really anything to attribute that to. Obviously, they've both had injuries as of late, but I have had chats with them, trying to rally up their morale, telling them I believe in them, giving them a cuddle. It's not really worked. Part of me just feels like, due to how good they are quality-wise, blind stubbornness, continuing to play them is the way to go. 15 minutes into this game, bear in mind this is a home game, 0 shots for us, 5 for them. I was about to say none on target. Of course, right as I say that, they hit the target. It's not really looking good right now. Laird on the far side for Birmingham, throws it to Henderson, inside to Leonard. I mean, it's weird, right? I said a few episodes ago, I think, about the fact that I feel like there's going to come a point where teams kind of identify that we're not the underdog they think we are, and that's going to be the issue. I think some of it is that. I think some of it is that this year we had been monumentally overperforming. Maybe now we're just kind of recalibrating our expectations. It is Birmingham 1-0 after 28 minutes. Look, let's just remember the season preview before the season began, we were like 20th. Even now at this point in the year, our odds on promotion are still kind of 10th favourites. We don't have the quality of the teams around us. I feel like we were operating off vibes and just good morale. Football Manager is quite snowbally. The snowballs run out of snow. I'll tell you what, with analogies like that, I'm a modern-day Shakespeare, kind of. I'll work on it. Just like maybe my player should work on doing something in this game. It is 1-0 at the break. Nothing happened besides the goal. It just looks sad to look at, doesn't it? What was that? Get your acts together. It's one of those things where I can't really point to any individual and say, you were bad. They've all been awful. Right, I'm going to jump straight into this second half. I thought about making tactical changes, but I don't want to make anything too soon. Ajaria, of course, is out injured. Pinto, his replacement, on a yellow card. He's only just come back from a suspension, and I really don't want to risk it. So you know what? AA, on you come at right back. Elsewhere in the team, I'm looking at these ratings in the final third. They are just sad. to look at. Joe Gelhardt, I kind of want to bring in. He's not played much lately because he's been injured as well. In fact, you can see here, he's asking to leave because he wants a new contract. Is it even worth bringing him in when he's unhappy? I don't even know. You know what? Ramsey's on a 6.5. He has been so bad lately. I thought there'd been a mini resurgence, and it's just not amounted to anything in this game. I'm going to take him off. I am going to bring in Gelhardt on. I think he is our best centre attacking mid option. Okay, double change made. I mean, we only beat Birmingham 3-1 before, but this is just such a different game, isn't it? 25 minutes left here. We've not even seen a highlight besides the goal for either team. It's not really been a game of quality, considering this is two teams competing at least for the playoffs. I say that because I do really fear that the automatic promotion dream might be dying a death right in front of us. JJ, what can you do? AA on the right-hand side tries to play through the ball, and if that isn't reflective of what we've done today so far, I don't know what is. It is straight to the Birmingham players. They launch it long. Ida is fouled in the penalty area by Edmondson, and it's now a penalty for Birmingham City. Hodge to make it 2-0 saves it. Okay, Wint, I always believed in you in goal, mate. I feel like I have to change something radically. We've literally done not a great deal in this game. And you know what? If in doubt, take off your captain. Bring on another centre attacking mid. JB, on you come. I'm going to swap him and Flood around so Flood plays in the final third. Elsewhere, Sheldon's on a 6.3. White's on a 6.4. I'm going to take off Sheldon and bring in Dane Scarlett. I think Andy White to play pressing forward. Hutchinson here cannot play left back. So unless I want to sub him off, I've got to move him forward. You know what? I'm going to take him off. Wallace, I've been playing lately. He's been a rare ray of hope and joy, the 18-year-old. I'm bringing him on here. I trust him. Okay, maybe that missed penalty can be, the thing to give us some momentum. Wint punches it away, I believe. I mean, imagine if we counter now. Dane Scarlett wide. AA. There are players in the middle here. This is like Leicester v Watford. We've had the miss at one end. Where is Troy Deeney? There is Wallace on off the bench. He can't win it. JB, looping header. Keeper collects. I mean, I've changed up the system radically here. There's 15 minutes remaining. We've not really looked like scoring. And that in itself is just a little bit of a concern. I mentioned Amari Hutchinson not getting an assist lately. Ramsey's been just vacant, and I feel like those two players really were two of the big outlets for us. Hutchinson really enabled us from set pieces, as well as getting a fair few assists from open play. Obviously, the injuries have just across the board meant that we've not had a stable lineup lately. I suppose the silver lining is, here in a game where we've not played well, we are still very much in it, and Andy White, I don't know why he shot first time there. He had all the time in the world, and that really surmises our day. I feel like them missing the penalty really has opened up an opportunity to try and make something happen. We've gone to the more attacking system. We're trying to create something here. JB, edge of the box, gives it to Alex Matos. Options to his right. Can he pick out a man? He picks out Flood. Edge of the box, he's dispossessed by Welbeck. They now look to launch it long. JJ's going to pick up the pieces. And now it's Mbete with it. I mean, here's the thing to remember. Birmingham are like one of the better teams in the division. They're kind of 6th or 7th at the moment. We're giving them a proper good game here, even not at our best. We are still competing. And I thought for a moment Dane Scarlett was going to win the header. It's gone straight over him. And we could still get something from this game. You know what? For all this negativity, we're in it to win it. Joe Gelhardt through the middle runs. And the keeper makes a sensational save. Right, we've still got the corner. I still believe. Joe, what can you do for us? He's going to whip it towards the back post. JJ's under it. He can't win the header. And this attack's just going to fizzle out. I was thinking about if I want to make more subs. I've made all the subs I can make. The only thing I could really do is move AA and Wallace forward, which is definitely going to leave us open. But at this point, can't really do a lot else. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game, or remaining of the added time, just going to come and go. 1-0 Birmingham. They missed a penalty. They opened a door. We could not oblige. Truthfully, don't feel like they were that good, but we were just worse. I mean, Jack Wint, best rating for us. Yeah, I've just realised he's on loan from Fulham, isn't he? He probably can't play against Fulham in the next league game, which does mean if I don't sign a goalkeeper, Ryan Timms or Shea Salmon has to play in goal. Or, maybe more logically, Miles Roberts plays in. I feel like Miles Roberts isn't as good as the kids. Oh, I don't even know what we're doing for the next game. I'm just going to hope that Wink can play. You weren't good enough. That was awful. A loss for us. Please tell me that Norwich slipped up as well. The answer is Norwich didn't play. Did Bournemouth play? Bournemouth played. They lost. Thank you, Fulham. I say that knowing I've got to play Fulham in the next game. So having seen them beat Bournemouth, they're probably also going to beat us. Sorry, Cov fans, I have a vendetta against you that I didn't know I had. I'm going to be back in a week and a half. Fulham away. Transfer window's going to be open still. Please no bids on my players. Good news, Amari Hutchinson, man of the match against Coventry. He got a goal and an assist. Bad news, we drew 2-2, which means I have another game to add to our schedule, which I really wish we didn't have. And the draw for the next round of the FA Cup's been made. Whoever wins out of ourselves in Coventry takes on the winner of Burnley v Luton. So it really is a championship battle. We could make it to the 6th round if we stop bottling things. That game is after deadline day. I'm not going to worry about it today. I hate Coventry. I've decided it's a new thing. I just don't like them. One team that I would like to beat, though, is Fulham. Media prediction of 3rd. They've had a stinky season. They're currently down in 12th in a championship table where teams that had games in hand have played them. Norwich have gone 3 points clear of us. Bournemouth, good news. They've not got any closer yet. We'll keep a close eye on their games today. Now, in terms of our team news, minor issue here. Jack Wint can't play against his parent club. Harry Evans, coming back from injury, not ready for a fitness test. So, I had a dilemma. Do I play Miles Roberts or the kids? And I'll be honest, it's a bit like choosing between... I'm trying to come up with an analogy here. It's like choosing between cauliflower and sprouts. You know, you don't really want either of them, but one of them has to go down. Or at least that's what I was told as a kid when I wanted to have pigs in blanket with my Christmas dinner. Look, enough childhood trauma aside about Sunday roast. I think we're going with Roberts for this game. He's played with the team at various different levels over the years, by which I mean he played 20 games in the National League once. This really is a problem. I did genuinely think about signing a goalkeeper just for this game. Anson actually had requested a transfer from Norwich. I thought maybe I'd be able to loan him, but I can't. And the transfer value and the money that the club has right now means that I just can't really make a bid for him. Also, don't know if it's worth signing a goalkeeper for £4 million to potentially play one game. Now, in terms of other team news at the club, a couple of new injuries. Zach Orr and Joe Gelhard, both out for a couple of weeks, is frustrating. Some good news. Rashid Mohammed, remember Rashid? Yeah, he got injured ages ago, broke his foot. He's on the bench. He could play 45 minutes. I feel like he's the inspirational attacking sub that I've lacked the last couple of months. Fulham going into this game have won 3 of their last 4 league games, and that's included in a tough game against Bournemouth, who were directly behind us, which they actually won. Away from home against them here. That's my current mood. I don't think words really can explain it as much as a can. In terms of personnel, by the way, we're in a decent little bit of strength. Pinto suspended today, so AA starts at right back, but the back 3 are in the team, obviously. In goal, Roberts might be tested today. Elsewhere, I'm trying to think who else is back. Dolk's back today, so that's some more good news. Also, how has that ball gone to Sheldon? He has to finish it. Can he finish it? He hits the post. That's the kind of chance 5 minutes in where you lump the ball over the top, it comes down with snow on it, and you just have to take it, and we haven't. I'll tell you what, when you look at Fulham's team, they've got a Dinger, they've got Bayer there. They've got really good players in this team. This is an awful team we have to play against. I can see why their media prediction is as high as 3rd. Makes me feel like we have to take chances when they come our way. Speaking of which, maybe we can create another chance here. 15 minutes into this game, Flood, Dolk, lovely build-up play. He dinks it through to White. 1 touch, 2 touch. We've hit the post again. I can't believe it. I mean, if I want to find a positive, yeah, our finishing's been awful. They've not yet really tested Roberts in goal. I mean, he's got a 7.0 rating because he's really good at kicking the ball out. Also, what a turn that was by Sheldon. AA has acres of space, options in the middle. Please score this time. The keeper saved it. Also, you can't see it behind my head. Bournemouth have gone a goal up against Lincoln. If they win that game and we fail to win here, they can close the gap, which is only 6 points now, to an even finer margin. And there is a point in me feeling like, with all these misses, is it just not going to be our day? Sheldon puts in a ball, it's dealt with. It's now 2-0 in the Bournemouth game. I was going to go around the grounds and show you. We'll have to hold fire on that for now, because the action here is not ceasing. 8 minutes left of the half. AA to JJ. Can we make something happen out from the back here? Fulham. Flood passes it past Fulham. Edmondson. Flood. Dolk, what can you do, Haig? He's bringing it out. He plays it forward. AA, space. 3 players in the middle to aim for. Can we pick out one of them? Okay, well, he missed that, Andy White. That's just gone wide. My brain was processing that miss. It's not even gone close to the target. And yet, there's another highlight immediately. It's down the right-hand side again. AA's having fun. White, we have hit the woodwork 3 times in this game. I repeat, we've hit the woodwork 3 times in this game, and it is still 0-0. And I'm in danger of losing my mind. Bournemouth, where's Bournemouth are winning 2-0 still? There might be one last highlight before the half ends. I mean, we've had 7 shots, only 1 on target. I feel like what you're seeing here really surmises the finishing of late. We've had really high XG in so many games and just not scored. And today could be another day like that where we just don't get the goals that we should. Andy White's the man who the chances have been falling to. He's the man who you'd want those chances to fall to. Let's be real. He's let us down. And with a minute left of the half, I feel like we're due a goal. We're owed a goal. Football Manager, just give me the goal. I feel like at this point we deserve it. Sheldon brings it forward, gets dispossessed. Vitic to Wilson. Fulham. Saito dinks it. Bayer through the middle. Takes it down on his chest. 1-on-1. Pain. I'm in pain. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I don't know if this is a case of goalkeeper animations not really doing Roberts justice. He has dodged that ball there. He has dodged it. And with that goal, that concludes the first half. A first half where I don't even know what to say. I got told that Rashid could play 45 minutes. Andy White, I've seen enough from you today, mate. Come get in the shower, dust yourself down, just cool off. I don't know what he's done. Right, Rashid's on the pitch, kick-off highlight immediately. If he scores, I'm going to look like an absolute genius. I mean, based on Andy White's finishing in this game, I just need a different body for the chances to fall to, and we'll probably score a few in this game. Mbete to Hutchinson, bringing it on the near side, lays it inside towards Sheldon, doesn't pick out his man. Saito now for Fulham. Imagine if they score a quick 1-2 either side of the half. That would just hurt so badly. Bree, bringing it on this near side. Cheesy little pass to Wilson. Options in the middle to aim for. Edge of the box. Bamba. Oh my word, Roberts has actually made a save. I love it. Saito over the corner for Fulham. Maybe this chance hasn't gone just yet. It's whipped in. I'm staring at my feet like it's going to provide inspiration. We are 2-0 down here in a game where I don't feel like we've played that badly. Is it okay sometimes just to point at Football Manager and go, just got unlucky? Because that's how I feel here. I mean, we've got a corner of our own. Football Manager, give me a reason for hope. Give me a reason for optimism. Edmondson, you're lurking. We know what the game plan here is. There he is. Did he just hit the woodwork again? It's weird. I almost don't really want to change anything in this game. I suppose at this point we should probably just go to attacking and try and be a bit positive. Flood's on a booking. I don't like it. JB, on you come. Elsewhere, I think fresh legs are needed. Wallace is going to play out on the left-hand side. At centre attacker mid, Ramsey's been poor. Corey Gerrard is going to get the nod because Gelhardt is out injured at the moment. I feel like this guy is our next best centre attacker mid option. I have got one more sub if I want it. I probably should just hold one in the back pocket. But with half an hour left here, I don't even feel like we've played that badly. But I want to say we've just been unlucky. But you can't just use that as an excuse every game. Right, Wallace is back. Wallace, what can you do for me here? He plays it forward. Sheldon, across. Corey Gerrard scores. I'm a genius. We need another goal. Wallace with the ball to JB. Back to Wallace. 3 subs all being involved in the build-up play here. Gerrard played it. A cross goal. Ramirez nowhere near it. Okay, suddenly we're slightly back in it, he says, as Fulham immediately go up the other end and get a throw in what feels like a dangerous area. Diallo plays it inside. Ball whipped across. A Bayer to Gruich. Adingra scores. I don't know why I said anything. I'm having a meltdown live. I've still got deadline day to do today. I mean, fundamentally, Fulham do have just more quality than us. They have far better players and a far bigger budget. And yet, I feel like 3-1 flatters them massively. There's 7 minutes left here. I don't feel like we've played badly, but I have to do something a little more attacking and a little more aggressive in what remains of the game. Dolk is exhausted, but I'm afraid to say he is going to have to stay on the pitch here as we shuffle our deck one last time. Right. I mean, this did create a little more for us in the previous game. Probably leaving it a little too late. But when you look at our actual chance creation, that's not really been the issue today. Defensively, I'll level with you. We've not been good. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but Robert's perhaps a factor in this game. But we still should have scored maybe 3-4 goals based on the opportunities we've had. I mean, the woodwork is still shaking. And yet Fulham have been clinical. They've carved us open and scored again and again. Okay, that one's not going to count, but you get the point. It's not good. There's a minute and a half left, and it almost just feels like an insult to injuries to show another replay. Because even if we score here, the chances of us getting another goal in the remaining 90 seconds feel slim. And of course, we have rolled the dice now. We are going super attacking, chasing a game, hoping we can make something happen. And we are going to leave ourselves open. Gerrard has one goal. Could he turn provider? Not with a pass like that, but it's still in a dangerous area. Rashid Mohammed holding up the play. AA back to Rashid, through on goal. Sheldon's there. The Reading boys link up. I mean, there's 1 minute for a goal. I'll just go very attacking. I think it's going to be a frustrating moment of too little, too late. But you know what? Rashid Mohammed back from injury, getting an assist. Maybe that's a reason for optimism. And sadly, that is going to be that. It finishes 3-2 to Fulham. Sheldon gets man of the match. That means absolutely nothing. We'd lost 1 game in the first half of the season. We've lost 6 games already in the second half of the year. There's still 12 games left. Bournemouth managed to scrape a 2-1 win in the end. Norwich could only draw, but that does put them 4 points clear of us. And that pack of teams chasing us, they are getting closer. The fact I've got to play Coventry again in the Cup is annoying as well. It's the second time we've gone to an FA Cup replay for a second round in a row. It really doesn't ease the fixture congestion. Now, to end things today, I am going to play through deadline day. I'm not really looking to sign anyone. I can't afford for the wage budget to get too much bigger. And on top of that, I think really it's a case of try not to lose anyone. I'm going to take part and hope everything is fine. If I get bids, I'll be back crying. I got a lot of questions asking Jack, why are you not spending the wage and kind of transfer budget you're given? And the answer is, I really cannot afford to rack up the debt that we are currently racking up. I've already experienced it a little bit, but as we approach a negative bank balance especially, the chairman will be more inclined to sell players above my head. I feel like I maybe can get away with it for the next 13 hours, but come the summer, if this current trajectory continues, we're going to be in a world of trouble in terms of holding on to players next summer. And that's why this year, trying to get out of the Championship, especially given how good we've been for the first half of the year, kind of felt all the more important. And so to see it slipping through your fingers, it kind of hurts. I had a loan offer here for Dalton Purple, the man who we signed in from Derby. He's actually been developing really well in our youth team. I think for now I'm going to keep him at the club. I might look to loan him out next year. To be honest, I don't even feel like he's that far away from our first team as a backup centre-back. His overall development in the club's been really good, especially his physicals. His pace was always a little bit of a worry. He's been getting much better in that regard. Larn have signed one of my youth prospects whose contract was expiring. I was never going to sign this guy to a permanent deal. Can I sell him now to them, Larn? I realise I'm wearing a Larn shirt today and they've randomly bought one of our players. That is very weird. Look, Lon, I'm wearing one of your shirts. I'm wearing the merch. I don't want this guy on my youth team. Can you just buy him for something, please? You know what? I'm feeling generous. 500 quid and he's yours. Okay, well, I made £500 from this youth player who was never going to play for me. Great deal. 7 hours remaining. No bids for any of the big players yet. I am wondering now as we approach deadline day, would they let me loan Anson? £400,000 for the monthly fee. You are having a giraffe. I mean, that is mental. They basically want me to pay, what, for 6 months, 5 months, like £2 million to loan Anson. That is a scam. You can see here the loan offer I tried to make with Norwich. I was offering them a fee if we won the Championship of £5 million, which I don't feel like is a particularly smart deal, really. But the alternative is £2 million in loan fees. I can't do that, can I? 6 hours remaining, bids on our players. A bid for Connor Pye. His contract is still expiring at the end of the year. I was kind of hoping I might be able to sell him before deadline day. Carlisle have made an offer to loan him. Carlisle, do you just want to buy him for 300k? No, is the answer. No, they don't. The other loan offers for Dalton Purple, I've already established, not loaning him out this year. I think much to my relief, the interest in Carl Flood has cooled down a little bit. Burnley no longer listed as an interested club. In fact, Hull are now listed as the team interested in him. I don't want to lose him. 4 hours remain. And anything? Nothing. Good. Well, things are already going badly. The good news is they're not going any worse than they were about 5 minutes ago for me and maybe a minute or two ago for you. Yeah, we have survived. This is quite funny, by the way. Wage expenditure in the Championship. We have the second lowest spend, and our spend is 3 times lower than Oxford's, who are in 18th. I've talked about it before, but for people wondering, well, Jack, why are you losing so much money then? It's because of the facilities that we have. The facilities are both a blessing and a curse. So far this transfer window, the youth setup has cost us £2.6 million. Across the season, it will cost us £3.6 million. That is not cheap by any means. And wages this year have gone up. In fact, our wages spent so far this season to the end of January are almost eclipsing the wages spent last year. You know what? Today has been an absolutely awful episode. The only good news is I've not got any more unhappy players, and we didn't have any of the big players get bids on them on deadline day that I had to really consider. I consider that a bit of a reprieve. The not so good news, Bournemouth are getting closer and closer. I would not bet against them being ahead of us come the end of the start of next episode. And on top of that, Birmingham are in 4th. They're only 5 points behind us now as well. In terms of next episode, I am not sure when I'm going to come back. March is looking appealing. We'll have our youth intake come in there. I'm looking for some reason for optimism. The A for fullbacks, the A for a striker is what's keeping me going right now. For those of you that were worried that things were going too straightforward and that we were just going to get up this year, I hope you're happy. I mean, look, I was worried that things were going to be a bit straightforward. Definitely not the case. The worst case scenario is very much playing out. There's 12 games left of the season. I'm going to go have a cry. I'll see you on Monday for more. Thank you for watching. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you guys next time.